Do you know how hard it is being a guy who's not in finance, doesn't work in a trust fund, who is not 6'5" and doesn't have blue eyes? I know it's damn hard lah. It's very hard for us guys out there. Welcome to the Battle of the Sexes. We are going to be talking about how beauty standards are harsher on man. I'm Talia, I'm going to be your host. And together with Herzi, we are on the Affirmative team. And on the opposing team, we have Lingy and Muna. And we'll be starting with our side, the Affirmative team first.
I'll stop at 2.5.
Alright.
Greetings, my attractive female judge and all-female crew. My fellow average male speaker and my beautiful-ish opponents. Today, me and Tsilang sit before you as unattractive men. I know that's hard to believe, and so I will never forgive. Which is our stance anyways for today's debate, that is beauty standards are more unforgiving on men. Take a look, for example, me. I'm so handsome, but by society standard, I'm what you call just pass. If you squint your eyes, I could look like Prince Martin of Brunei, but open it again, I look like young Stephen Lim Kokor. Unforgiving. Now, to make a case study for both fair, let's base the comparison of both beauty standards at its most unrealistic to attain. For a woman, it is often attractive facial features and ageless appeal and a slim body. For a man, attractive facial features and ageless appeal and somewhat a muscular or lean body, aka lean fat percentage. This is the generic standard that we all subscribe to as the unattainable beauty benchmark. The only true difference here, if you notice, is the appeal of the physical body, which makes sense because after all true defining difference between a male and a female is the body. So let's lean into these expectations. What is the requirement to attain a slim female body? It is said that your body is 80% diet and 20% exercise. Muscles, however, are built in the gym through strength and weight training. So where a man's beauty standard requires both diet and gym, a woman attains her impossible beauty standard to appear slim with no substantial requirement for a muscle-focused physique, simply and possibly through diet alone. And based off the earlier math, women can slack off the remaining 20%. So she could be skinny fat without any muscle mass and still be within the standards of beauty. Think young Rihanna, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, slim women with some thick. While diet is a sheer act of willpower and mental discipline, the gym alone, though just 20% of our effort, is a daunting physical task that requires time, strength, and often money. Think gym memberships and supplementary foods like protein, creatine, and even steroids for some. So imagine, just for the sheer 20% of what he has to put to attain society's expectation of male beauty, he sacrifices money and physical effort. So now let's jump timeline. Now imagine we're done with attaining these beauty standards. Imagine two individuals, one perfect man, one perfect woman, and they both have achieved the elite beauty standard. In industries where beauty is front and center of hiring, women dominate the hiring capacity more than their male counterparts. From influencers to the music, film, entertainment industry, and even modeling, women have more jobs afforded onto them than men. According to Collapser Influencer Marketing Report, 77% of the influencers who do get to monetize their content are women, with a whopping 23% just male. Unfair, but he's not complaining. Equal rights, you scream. Equal rights, my chow. I'm sure my opposition today will argue that because women have the pressure of being victims of the consumerism industry, well, cry my crocodile river, dear. While female beauty standards are centered with consumerism, women pressure other women to succumb to these beauty standards. Women allure other women from advertising to socializing for the capitalization of beauty markers. You don't see men asking women to dress up a certain way on commercials. It is women who tell other women in commercials what weight loss measures they take, which skincare products they use, and the list goes on. It is women on women scam. After all, isn't the saying, I don't dress for the male gaze? Unlike you, I'm proud to dress for the male gaze. Just spelled differently. But men take ownership of our own superficial behaviors and don't blame it on the other gender. When your will to impress the other gender appearing more attractive is really your call. Oh, sorry, I'm not attractive then. I'm not attractive lah.
So let's talk about what I said earlier, right? So you're looking for a man in what? Finance? Trust fund? 6'5". Why? You mentioned height. Okay, why do girls like to mention a height when it comes to beauty standards for men and women? Especially for men. No one cares how tall a girl is or how short a girl is, but everyone cares how tall a guy is. I'm pretty sure I've heard before, like, oh, this guy's quite nice, like, always can trust fund, finance, like, yeah, blue eyes, but it's like, it's barely 5'9", like. It's not even 6'0". We can't date him. He's undateable if it's below a certain height. A lot of girls, even based on my own experience, they'll say like, oh, I'm looking for a guy above a certain height. You don't have the boyfriend height, so too bad. Yeah. Then how? Okay, so let's talk about height. I'm going to give you a survey first. So based on a survey done by Bradley University that found a staggering 95% of uni-age men experience some level of body dissatisfaction in 2013. And the link to that is going to be height for my argument. You see, height is not just something that could be cute, For women, they say like, oh, this girl is petite, she's cute, she's tall, she's demure, sexy. But for a guy, if you're tall, you're handsome, you're commanding, you're masculine. If you're short, you're barely a man. Right? I'm sure you've heard of those. You see models, you see movie stars, influencers, they get better jobs, better gigs. Even for CEOs, there's studies that have shown that they do get paid better and they have more commanding positions at work if you're a taller man. Not the case for women. It doesn't matter what height you are, you can wear heels. For guys, you wear platforms, you wear insoles, people are gonna mock at you, and there's no cute name for short guys.
Beauty standards are not more unforgiving on men. Beauty standards are more forgiving on men because men are delusionally confident. I go through a 3 steps minimum beauty routine every morning and I still put on makeup afterwards because I care. My husband, on the other hand, wash his face with cold water.
What's husband's problem?
Wash, look into the mirror, and then he will say, wow, handsome. Okay? And I believe that's the case for most men. When you go to an event and the dress code is smart casual, women show up in dresses and makeup, different styles, and men, they put on a suit, and that's already considered as wow effort. Beauty standards are more forgiving on men simply because men has no standards. And or lower. We got 0 points, so if you demerit, that's still 0. Yeah, okay, my points are coming. Women bear significant financial costs to meet social beauty standards. When you are not as invested in something, you are less expected to excel in that area. Okay, if you're a guitar player, you are known to just spend 5 minutes a day to play guitar.
No.
Do people expect extraordinary guitar playing skill out of you? No. People tend to be more forgiving. But if you're a guitar player, you are known to spend 2 hours a day to practice. People will be expecting and hence less forgiving. So from a statistical point of view, men invest less time and effort in beauty. They are not expected to excel in this area. Hence, beauty standards are more forgiving on men. Beauty standards are more forgiving on men because society has learned to overlook the significance of beauty in men. For example, if someone tells you, John's girlfriend is ugly, normal people would just go, oh man. If someone tells you, Jenny's boyfriend is ugly, what is the most expected reaction? But is he rich? There's always a but. See, people automatically add a but to an ugly man, just trying to justify the unattractiveness. Okay, beauty standards are harsher on women because there are more standards for women in the first place. We have heard beauty standards for women such as big boobs, peachy butt, small waist, thigh gap, hourglass figure, translucent skin, shaved below the eyes. And beauty standards for men, 6-pack, end of the story. The amount of vocabulary in beauty standards for each gender shows you who has more standards to meet.
Now, to add on to Lingyi's points with some data, Straits Times did a study in 2020 on beauty standards in Singapore and found that 80% of the female respondents felt that women in the media were predominantly portrayed in a very narrow, idealized way, often young, slim, and fair-skinned, in contrast to the male representation in the media, which was more diverse, with broader range of body types, ages, looks portrayed as attractive. So with the men, they don't have to adhere to any beauty standards because men can just be men and look okay. According to Health Promotion Board also, they did a report in 2020. Women in Singapore were found to be more likely than men to attempt dieting, weight loss, and cosmetic surgery to conform to these beauty standards that are put upon us. 53% of women reported engaging in weight loss activities compared to just 30% of men. Women were also more likely to report dissatisfaction with their body size, with 46% of women expressing concerns about being overweight, while only 28% of men voiced similar concerns. Now, women in Singapore are also under significant pressure to maintain a youthful appearance, with a focus on features such as large eyes, a small nose, a well-defined jawline, a peachy butt, everything. A 2019 study by the New Paper actually found that 57% of women felt societal pressure to have youthful and flawless skin, with smooth skin being a major component of the beauty ideal. Comparatively, only 35% of men reported similar pressures related to youthful experience. Thank you very much.
We got time. I add one more time.
Okay,
one more point. Today's motion is beauty standards are more unforgiving on men, right? We don't need to argue if beauty standards are more forgiving on men. We just need to prove that beauty standards are equally unforgiving on men and women, right? So, or whatever you identify as. So, balding in men is horrible. Balding in women is also horrific. That is a really awkward ending.
What were you going to say after that?
I just add one.
okay.
It's equally horrific.
Doesn't count already lah.
Yeah.
Height! That's what matters. We've yet to hear a rebuttal from you guys about height. Okay, let me give you some stats, okay? So I'm looking at this article, and this is a survey commissioned by the dating app Coffee Meets Bagel. This survey was done, and they went to evaluate the average Singaporean singles over their deal breakers and their preferences on this dating app. So the survey showed that women have an average of 19 requirements for a partner, whereas men have an average of 15. And you say that, oh, okay. Does that mean that men have lesser requirements? Yes, it does. Secondly, one of the most common things mentioned is that women do prefer men. If you cannot convince, confuse. So one of the most important things for women is height. So height is so important for women that they all the stats have shown that they want taller partners, and more single women would rate a tall man as the second highest criteria, while men, they don't choose height at all. They only choose long hair. They prefer long hair over long legs. Yeah, who cares about your legs or the height of whatever? They only care about your hair. Whereas for
But
women,
then they are still expecting some kind of standard from us, what?
Correct.
You also what?
Yeah,
Height,
but
which we cannot do anything about.
exactly. You can't change the height, but you can
So
change
equal
the length
mah?
of the hair.
Not harder, equal ma.
How's it
Yeah.
equal? I can't
Equal,
change
Hair
it.
can grow.
No,
Height
I
can
expect
cut.
something.
Height.
But also, like,
Well, yeah.
I won't change my hair for you. What?
Yeah,
I want my
exactly.
hair the way
But
Also-
even if I want to change my height for you, I can't.
Modern,
I can't.
it's okay.
I can't. I
It's
have no choice.
okay. It's okay, Zeliang.
It's not okay, is it? It's not really okay.
Women care about height, okay, but then with modern technology, right now you see your significant half, you show them off on IG stories. You can always edit the photos. So technology has already is starting
Correct,
to
but
provide a
You're
solution.
not
Provided
dating
you
the
have
photo, you're dating the
I
man.
know,
Yeah,
I know.
provided you have a
It's
significant
already
half.
to provide a solution for people who might be shorter than that. So
But
I
women are
think
not willing to date shorter men in the first place.
Yeah.
we
That's what
are,
I'm saying.
we are with
Who's
the
we? Who's we?
society. Women society
Yes.
is evolving. But anyway, that point is like, we already talked about it. So
No,
let's
you
talk
didn't.
about your.
You didn't talk about it. Hold on,
Let's
I'm gonna
talk about.
continue. No,
Let's
you
talk
did
about
not.
your.
Look
did
at
not
the
talk about it.
recently happy
And while
couple
we are on the
Zendaya
point-
and her husband.
Exactly.
There's only one.
Shorter.
One. Name me one more.
Tom Cruise
Ah,
and his whatever many wives and
Yeah.
girlfriends.
they love them for
Yes.
their personality.
But because he's Tom Cruise.
But the truth is, the body positive
Eh?
movement in the last decade is more progressive within women conversations more than men. Women get to unpick and unpack the stigmas around colorism, ageism, and body discrimination. Brands that market these products are
That's
often female brands too, such as Fenty, Savage, and an album from Rihanna. We are still waiting.
Yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we are
Yes,
judging
please.
ourselves. We are not paying attention to men. So hence,
Exactly. You're not paying attention to men,
exactly,
which is why we are
hence
sadder and more depressed.
forgiving because you can do whatever you want and we
No,
don't
you
guys
don't
are
pay
forgiving
attention
on
on the surface.
yourself.
Yeah, you don't pay attention on the surface, but when it
We-
comes to dating in the real life world, you do care, you just don't see it. That's why men stay single longer, because they say that, hey, these women are not vocalizing their needs. They don't say that they want a tall guy, they don't say they want a guy who looks better. But at the same time, they are not getting dated around because they do
But
have these requirements.
You can say the same about women,
Women-
too.
yeah.
Some women
guys
are
like big
also,
boobs.
Yeah, some women are also not
Ah,
getting dates.
Here is a loophole in the debate motion.
Huh?
Y'all bring up a lot about the expectation of men, like how women needs to wear makeup, guys like big boobs. You forget that men also include gay men.
Gay.
Yeah, we also have lesbian.
Yeah.
No?
But the motion is how unforgiving it is on the men. And on
Lesbians
gay men,
don't care
it's
about
even
men.
worse the pressure for
Okay,
them. Okay?
say.
For example, it is not just within their standards to be expected to be beautiful. It is also socialized intrinsically within them. How common are our dating apps when they say no fats, no femmes, no Asians on a gay man's app more than a heterosexual female's app? We can never announce that because the female will never accept it.
And then when it comes to body positivity, I do want to mention that, it's all about embracing your body. You love your curves and everything, right? But when it comes to clothing, you'll find that it's harder for guys of different sizes to find clothes that really suit them. Me, for example, I have a very average build of average Singaporean man. The average height is 171, by the way. I'm slightly above it,
It's
thank
okay,
you.
Zeliang.
Yeah,
It's okay. You
Thank
are
you,
tall
thank you.
enough.
I am
think this is
174,
more
but
something
yeah.
to unpack
So
for you.
174 is very average, right? I would say for
Yes.
Singaporean men, and I find difficulty in finding clothes that suit me right off the rack. But for women, you have a variety of options. You have from like XXXS all the way to XXXXL for a lot of brands out there, but you don't find any shops particularly catered to men that say that, hey, even if you have shorter legs, you have shorter arms, we have clothes that fit you.
Here is another
Future
counterpoint.
Uniqlo.
Here is
They don't
another
have my
counterpoint
side.
of argument.
Okay, go ahead first.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just now, Ling Yi mentioned that it's okay when men is ugly because we can always go, but they're rich. Exactly that point. Because while beauty traits also talk about the physical beauty, beauty traits also include the invisible character traits and pressures of wealth and status that includes of whether man becomes attractive or not. The beauty standards of man also includes his invisible traits of wealth and status. Okay? When marketing luxury to men, society often expects men to attain these luxury goods themselves, but flip it to a female-focused luxury good such as jewelry, it can be equally positioned to pressure men and women to buy for the female. All this pressure to be wealth and have status, right? It pressures them so much that where is that point? We cannot forget these attractiveness on men such as wealth and status also include them into the rate of suicide. According to CDC, man makes up 50%
What? This is serious. Okay.
Find it.
of suicide.
Because of
They pressure you.
they pressure to build the
They
beauty.
don't feel attractive enough. But the point is that they to be rich because already ugly. Not rich.
See what you do. You're very bad, very mean,
Broke here, see guys. Okay, I also have a. Sorry, you have a counter.
Oh,
to
yeah.
me?
Yeah, I think the whole thing
Yeah.
doesn't make
Yeah.
sense because he was talking about standards, not beauty standards. I think there's
There's
no.
the other
part of it.
expectation of us if we're not ugly. If we're
Other
ugly, we need to be
expectations
rich.
don't count. So let's
I'm
just
pressure.
ignore that.
I'll give them green because so poor thing. Okay, I just want to counter also. Just now you were saying that like for women there is less need to diet and exercise in order for us to lose weight. But women also need to sacrifice money and physical efforts. That is not like what you said was not true at all because men actually tend to lose weight quickly after starting a new diet.
Yes.
In fact, there is one study by this Zipa Sheikh MD that showed that men lost twice as much weight and 3 times as much body fat as their female counterparts on the same diet during the first 2 months.
Yes, because
Okay.
you have more muscle mass.
Yeah, but it's not about
Yes.
that. So he talk. Okay,
It
that's about
is,
testosterone,
that's
right?
what he
Okay,
said,
because men
yeah.
have more testosterone.
No,
so
because
you're
you
able
have
to,
Yeah,
higher
more lean,
mass.
yeah.
Hence, his entire point of it's easier for
no,
female to lose weight and maintain a body
Unless
is easier.
we have a sweet tooth. which
No,
I
but
do.
men-
I
but-
still have my pooch from 5 years old.
Yes, but men have more lean muscles to burn calories. So if you
Yes, so
decide
it's
to go on
actually
a diet,
harder.
it's not that it's harder for you.
female.
Yeah,
And also
for,
to
no,
shut
for
a
men,
woman
yeah.
up.
You see, okay, so let me. Oh, hold on. Let me continue your point. Okay, so you say that men have more lean muscle mass, so they're able to lose weight faster, right? Correct. So we're all losing weight at the same rate, or men have
Why?
a no, sorry. Men have a faster rate of losing weight.
Yes.
But men have to put on more muscle in the meantime. But women are not defined by societal standards to build muscle at the same time. You don't have to be muscular.
I want to bring out what Ling Yi said about all the beauty trends of a thigh gap, hair below the mouth, and all that. Funny enough, while I mentioned it is a woman or woman scam, did you know that the first article ever written about the thigh gap was by a woman herself? So it's you playing the victim card on your own.
Ah!
That doesn't matter, ma. Means I am more forgiving towards you. That's true. Thank you.
What are you talking about?
I am very unforgiving towards you, Muna. But
Okay.
I am so forgiving.
I just want
towards
to
you.
circle back. I just want to circle
You
back.
don't victimize
No.
yourself.
I want to circle back. No one has rebutted me on the height.
What?
Ya Allah.
Tell me more about the height. Hey, look, hey, come on, hey. Listen.
Stop it.
Hey, this is my trigger, This is something that men can't change
Okay,
unless
wait.
you go to the extreme
Let me
ends and you do surgical procedures to make you lengthen your bones and you become taller. But for women, they can just say that, hey, I don't care about your height, right? But when you're dating a man, you do care about the height. Let's look at the stats. A survey done by dating.com found that 70% of women prefer
Yes.
dating men taller than themselves. Same for OkCupid, same for Tinder. And you know what? Even the same for all the working world out there, study by University of Florida found that CEOs are on average 2 inches taller than the average male
Yeah,
population.
that point was already mentioned just now. So
Exactly,
just
so
to rebuttal
rebut it.
on that, yeah. So the media has recently casted a lot of short men and make them look attractive just to educate the female market that short men are also attractive. So
Precisely,
the
you need to
society,
educate female on this. Why do you
yes.
educate
So
them?
the society is trying.
Yeah,
When there's
society
trying,
already
there
trying.
is hope. When there's hope, one day
We're trying to
maybe
end world hunger, but there still is world hunger.
there's always gonna be inequality.
What
right?
about male pattern
Right?
hair loss that is so
Exactly.
unforgiving?
Hair
It's something they can't
transplant is
change.
And the worst
available.
part
Genetics.
is women's expectation of the tiny short dick man.
Ah!
We cannot do anything about it.
No! Oh, baby!
Why do we have to end on the tiny short dick man?
So for the scores right now, Ling Yi and Muna are winning by 1 point.
Yes.
For this third round, we're going to do something a little different. We're doing a 1v1 but times 2.
What?
What?
That's 2v2.
Yes, no.
But separately.
Separately, for the first pairing will be Muna and Herzi, and the next pairing
What we first?
Okay.
Go.
While girls complain about the cost of makeup, men also can complain. These are expectations that are expected of us these days. Let's not forget again, men also include gay men. And gay men also now have started wearing makeup. So your point that it's just a girl's problem, not valid, yeah?
We're not saying that it is just a girl's problem. We're saying that men don't have it harder. It is
Tell that to
equally
all the
as
male influencer
we're
beauty
saying
industry.
that it's equally
aquas.
as difficult. It's equally as difficult. Both genders are going through unrealistic standards. But I want to quote from a woman's perspective in the office, for example. In Singapore, it is a diverse cultural landscape, but traditional gender expectations often dictate that women must prioritize their appearance more than men. So in 2021, a WARE survey, 72% of women reported feeling pressure to balance both career and appearance, while only 45% of men felt the same.
45.
Women in the workforce were also more likely to report being judged based on their looks, with 58% of women in corporate setting stating they felt judged by their appearance compared to just 30% of men. So it just goes to show that women are being judged more often based on our appearance. Like, we appear in the room, that's the first thing people look at.
But let's not forget Zhe Liang's height.
Yeah, okay. If you want to talk about that, I want to quote elpais.com, okay?
What did
The
they say?
perfect man gets shorter. Perceptions about height are changing. There are terms like
You
short
said already, or
king.
you just quoted it.
No, but I haven't finished my point, right? You want to hear or
Yes,
not?
yes,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
for
yeah,
you,
yeah.
Yeah, we
okay?
need to hear it.
This
We have
for
2
you.
more
Go, go, go.
minutes.
Like I said, there's Zendaya, who is 5'9", and Tom Holland, who is 2 inches shorter than her. Holland, by the way, was a great fit for his height to star in the latest Spider-Man saga, meaning that short men are being casted more and more. And there
But
are...
social tolerance to mock a man's appearance versus a woman's appearance is far more prevalent.
Hey.
It's okay to mock a man for their height, but call a woman fat, it's pitchfork and torches in the woman's village.
Exactly! Because why would you be mean? We are already suffering so much from trying to meet beauty standards.
And we are just
then
supposed
you
to
beat
suck
us
it
down.
up and
No.
bring us into this mental pressure
Not at
of
all.
suicide rate, which, by the way, let me remind you, is 50% of population are men and 80% of
Okay.
suicide rates are men.
But this is for all the short men out there, okay? Recent
Okay.
studies suggest that sex life of short men is more intense and satisfying. Really? Yeah, they
yeah, that
proudly
means your man then
affirm.
sucks. Yours also. You though.
Yeah,
what?
that's why. So, not bad lah being short.
Yeah, but this is just a recent finding out, right?
Yeah.
Up to that point, men are expected to be physically more protective
Okay.
of their female partner, and therefore, this expectation requires them to go to the gym, as my previous point, which will not counter as more point. Mark.
Why are so many short people leaders, politicians, and actors? Oh, wait.
Why? Continue. Why? Oh, wait.
Why? Why?
They
Because
are...
they're tall.
Wait.
Right? Is that?
No, but why?
Let me
Because
read
they-
it.
Cannot. Some things I cannot mention here yet. Wait. You think about the men in power. They are short. Why are they there? Yeah.
Women always have it harder,
Yeah.
regardless what, especially beauty standards. Just now, Hezi was mentioning about male influencers. Male influencers have it good. You know why? Because there's not many of them. So in the beauty industry, when the supply is short, the demand is high. So being a male influencer actually gives you way more opportunity in
Correct.
this beauty industry.
Yes.
So no, it's not harsher for you. It's
Aw.
harsher for the female influencers because the market is so saturated. Today's motion is beauty standards are more unforgiving on men. We don't need to argue if beauty standards are more forgiving on men. We just need to prove that beauty standards are equally unforgiving on both women and men.
Yes.
Okay? It's harsh. It's a
Yeah.
harsh world. Everybody's judgmental. Don't quote me, yeah, but
Mm.
overweighted men are less attractive. So are overweighted women.
Mm.
In front of a judgmental person, you are never gonna be beautiful enough.
Mm.
But in front of a nice fella, you are beautiful the way you are, regardless of gender or height.
Let's start with stop getting away for the hype part. Let's start with Ling Yi's part. Okay, you're mentioning about this how the market is saturated because there's so many female influencers out there and there's lesser men, so the competition is less tough, right? But you know what? Supply and demand, when you have lesser men in the industry, that means there are lesser jobs for all these men as well. Right? So they have it harder at the same time. Secondly, I do want to mention that you see all these accounts that are talking about female body positivity, but when a guy tries to do it, it doesn't end well for them. No guys ever come out and say like, hey, you know, I'm embracing my dad bod, I'm loving this, and all the women will be like, yes, slay king, you're looking so good. But people are supporting all the girls. You see comments even in Singapore, right? You comment on friends' feed and they'll be like, oh, girl, you look so good in this dress. But when a guy does something that's a little bit different from your normal societal beauty standards, nobody's gonna encourage him. People are gonna tell him to suck it up and toughen it out. Because even if you ask people around you or you see from a lot of different social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, even Reddit. Okay, I know people don't like Reddit. There are people out there. You read the comments, you know that a lot of men, they face fear from showing their insecurities to their female partners. This is for heterosexual men, right? So because when they do show their weakness, a lot of times they're faced with this motion whereby they're just told to suck it up. You know, you are supposed to be a man. Be a man. So when people tell you that you have to hold on to your... I just lost... You have to do better in terms of beauty standard. It does not apply the same way that it applies to women as it applies to a man. So men have it tougher in that sense. I got a little bit lost.
I would like
What?
to add, Ling.
Can I add a-
Ling, you would like to add a point about you saying that there's no jobs available for the male
Oh, yeah,
influencers.
okay.
No, they
As
said
a
there's no jobs,
bra-
lesser.
As a company owner,
Yeah,
what do you
okay.
observe?
Actually, right there in this industry, media industry, right, there are way more jobs for men, especially in beauty industry for male than female. Because as I said, female supply is high in demand. Everybody, female watch male, male watch male, female also watch female. But anyway, for beauty related stuff. Okay.
No.
Everybody watch everybody
No,
lah.
Yeah.
so she comes from the expertise of being the company owner.
One company.
Okay?
One.
Hey,
How
but
many
still
gigs
Satu.
did your boys
she
get?
knows the
Versus the
market,
female.
okay?
Okay.
I have witnessed male influencers who know nothing about makeup. Okay, started out and was giving way more chance compared to a female who already knows so much about makeup. Because why? Because there's no male makeup
Okay.
artist.
Fair point. Okay, my final point is that if you take a look, if you take a look at movies and TV shows, the male lead are always gonna be the ones who are handsome and tall. The second guy is always gonna be a shorter, a more plump guy who's always there for the comedic relief. Same for Tom Holland, right? Who's his best friend? The guy who summoned the wheel, right?
He's Spider-Man.
Correct. That doesn't matter because the second lead will always be less good looking than in case of guys for the male. Lead.
Irrelevant.
But for female, you got a funny fat female character also can.
Hey,
Amy
look
Schumer.
at Adam Sandler.
Rebel
he also is a
Wilson.
lead of some of his films.
Yeah.
But it's never a serious role.
Tina-
Have you watched the movie?
McCarthy.
Amy Schumer,
Melissa
this
McCarthy.
one also not serious.
Trying to
What?
think of it.
Yes, they
lot,
were
ah.
serious.
The winner is Una and Lee.
Girl.
Yes. Go
You
girl.
lah, your height.
It's a valid point. It is a valid
Finally.
point.
Hey,
It is
Finally,
a concern for a lot of men out there.
Thank
It
you.
is a
This one
concern.
is for the girls, yeah.
I
But
also have one
also
before.
that equally we go through difficult beauty standards.
Yeah.
You think you're beautiful, man?
Yeah.
No, we go through it.
See lah, he just judged us. It was so hard. It's
Exactly.
so hard.
Thanks for watching today's episode of Hash It Out. Do stay tuned for the next episode. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.
I'm looking for a man in radio. CPF. Brown eyes. 5'6".
Shorts.